The Council of Trent employed the expression real presence to explain how God can be both present in heaven and in the bread and wine after the consecration of Mass. So when the bread and wine are consecrated at Mass, Jesus is both present in his full glory in heaven with the Father and the Spirit and the Blessed Mother and the angels and saints, but at the same time in the substance of the bread and the wine that is consecrated. In the Eucharist, in the bread that's consecrated, as well as in the wine that's consecrated, Jesus' divine person is present. The divine nature of the three persons is present, but Jesus' divine person alone incarnated himself in matter, in the matter of bread and wine, and in human flesh. The Father and the Spirit, as persons, did not incarnate themselves. Only the second person of the Trinity. Okay, so this means that Jesus' person, divine person, is present in the Eucharist. Remember, in the Eucharist, Jesus replaces the substance of the bread and wine, and he so imbues and endows the accidents of the bread and wine with that very substantial presence of his, that all of the Eucharist and all of the wine is God. In other words, within the Eucharist, within the wine, within the bread, there is present God's body, blood, soul, and divinity in the second person of the Trinity of Jesus Christ. Because the second person of the Trinity, Jesus, replaces the substance of the bread and the substance of the wine while retaining the appearance, the accidents of bread and wine. So we eat bread. The physical property of that which we eat in the Eucharist is bread. The physical property of that which we drink in the Eucharist is wine. So the accidents do not change in their appearance or their accidents, right? That's a philosophical term. Accidents means really the external, and substance is the internal, to make it simple. So while Jesus replaces the substance and retains the existing accidents of bread and wine, he nonetheless endows and imbues all of it, accidents and substance, with his presence. So the whole Eucharist and all of the bread and all of the wine contain all of God. So much so that if you take a small little particle, let's say a centimeter in size of the bread, and one drop of blood from the chalice, that too contains all of God. So God cannot be compartmentalized in his presence. We cannot say that if I receive a quarter of the Eucharist, I don't receive the whole Eucharist. That is false. Because God is fully present in every little molecular atomical presence of that bread and wine.